Hello. So today I wanted to talk about a book I finished recently. Like I finished it yesterday, and it's Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. Pretty thick one. It's like almost 500 pages. So this was not a highly anticipated read for me, but I read two books by Sally Rooney, and that was Normal People and what is it called? I have it. It's like, oh, Beautiful World, Where Are You? And like I enjoyed Beautiful World, Where Are You? I enjoyed that way more than Normal People. But then this book had a lot of good advertising, and I was hearing a lot of good reviews about this book. So I was like really excited, and I got it from the library. It was ready like very quickly, which is surprising. And I rated this book a 3 out of 5. So let's start off with what this book is about. So this book follows two brothers, Peter and Ivan, that live in Dublin, and their father just recently passed away. He had cancer. And then it is following 3 other women as well. And so in total we're following 5 characters in different parts of their lives and how their relationships are changing. So Sally Rooney is known to write about interpersonal relationships. So I knew going into this book there was going to be a lot of focus about like anxiety, feeling not good enough, and wanting perfection out of other people, wanting perfection out of yourself and stuff like that. Those are the types of things I like to hear from Sally Rooney's writing. I think she's very good at understanding my generation, just people in like entering their 30s or already in their 30s, in their 20s and stuff like that. So I was interested to see what kind of commentary she would have about that, and she did have a lot of that packed in here. My issue with Intermezzo is that I didn't start to really enjoy this book until I got about halfway. Mind you, this book is about like almost 500 pages. It's like 460. It's like close to 500. And so when I'm reading a book, I would really like to enjoy the characters. Sorry, that's my cat. But with this one, it was just, there was nothing that made the characters stand out for me. They were just not likable. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. And I think it's okay to not find characters likable when it comes to like The Secret History, where it is abundantly clear that these are like morally corrupt characters. But this one, these were just normal people in their late 20s or like early 20s to like early 30s, and they were just bland. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Just very bland people. And I was just really frustrated. I was like, oh god. And I have to listen to this person's POV, especially Peter. I did not like Peter very much. I would have to listen to Peter's parts, which is just, it kind of dragged on for me. And I also found this book to be kind of repetitive as well when it came to Ivan's sections. Ivan is dating an older woman named Margaret, so it's a lot of like, oh man, I am dating an older woman, and is my brother gonna approve? And then Margaret on the other hand is like, is my community gonna approve? And those are normal conversations to have, like talking about age gap and how that's gonna affect the opinions of other people around you. But it's very frustrating when that just goes on and on and on. And you think you found a resolution, but the character's stream of consciousness is still going on and on and on. And it's just like, I thought we already came to a conclusion about this thing, like, I don't know, like 150 pages ago, and we are still on this. So I kind of found myself getting like frustrated when it came to that. And then I will say that the writing also frustrated me a little bit. I actually took pictures on my phone of the parts that were annoying to me. But like, she would have very like short sentences that are just not sentences. And I understand like that's how Sally Rooney writes, and it's very intentional, but I did not like it. And yeah, I didn't like it. It pissed me off. I was like, she'll be like, and it went. That's a sentence. And this is just me coming up with a random example, but it would just be like, there wouldn't be any like subject or like any verb. Like, I don't know, I'm not even an English major, I didn't study English or anything, but I know what is a sentence and what isn't. So I was like, girl, like, what is happening? But I know that I just complained a whole lot about the characters and the writing, but what I did like is the commentary about capitalism that she talks about, gender norms, and I guess people's like physical abilities, and you know, just stuff that you don't read about, polyamory and stuff that's not really, that's considered like radical ideas or whatever, that are not really in fiction books that I read about. I did enjoy that aspect of it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to read another Rooney. Maybe I will, who knows, but I don't know, maybe my reading taste has just, my reading palette has just improved now that I've read a lot more books since I've gotten into reading once again. But I was not impressed by Intermezzo. I am glad I read it, but I was not impressed, which is why I gave it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, she just did a lot of explaining, and I was like, and then there were moments when I felt like she was kind of just, this sounds kind of mean, but like, it just felt like she was kind of like bragging to be like, look how radical of a thinker I am, just like at random spots. And I'm like, babes, like, what does this have to do with the character? Like, I don't know. And I was just like, ooh. And I remember I had seen a review by this booktuber that was talking about Sally Rooney's debut novel, Conversations with Friends, and she was saying that she actually thinks that Emily Henry is a much better writer than Sally Rooney. And I kind of have to agree with that. And I think the reason that Emily Henry doesn't get the same hype as Sally Rooney does is because Emily Henry writes only strictly romance novels. And I'm not saying I'm the biggest Emily Henry fan. I do like Emily Henry. I've read most of her books. But I genuinely think she's a much better writer. Like, Emily Henry, I think, is a much better writer than Sally Rooney. And I think the only reason that Sally Rooney gets more hype is because, first of all, she's very good at her marketing and pushing her books out there. And number two, like, I think because she's considered in the literary fiction category rather than romance, that she gets more respect from people or from readers, because this was not that good. Like, I'm sorry. Like, she served her purpose for me when I first got into reading, but now I'm like, okay, cute. All right. Is that all? Like, I literally finished it and I was like, are you, like, last night I was reading this and I was like, is this for real? Like, why did it need to be this long? Like, and what was happening the first, like, this much, because nothing really was happening. But yeah, I had written a quote. I left a piece of paper downstairs, but it was something about perfection and how we expect so much from others, and I thought it was a really beautiful quote. But overall, I just thought this was a mid book. But yeah, that's my review on Intermezzo. Anyway, on my current reads at the moment, I am rereading The Secret History because I just cannot get enough of it, but I am reading it out of this edition that I got from eBay. It's already used by somebody else, but I am 130 pages, and I have been like putting in little post-it notes, writing down my ideas. I've been underlining a lot more and, like, you know, writing little things up here. And I don't know, I feel like this book made me realize the importance of rereading books that you like, because I feel like there was a lot that I missed, and I'm just realizing how phenomenal this book is. Like, I even had to, like, I'm not big on, like, I don't know anything about Greek mythology, but I was Googling who Dionysus was, and I was like, the god of wine and ecstasy, and like stuff, information that was mentioned by their teacher Julian. I would just like research it or watch YouTube videos about it, and I would like highlight and underline. And yeah, I'm just having a really amazing time with this. And I was like reading it at the same time as I was reading Intermezzo. So whenever I would get angry or upset with this book, I would just pick this book up and be like, ah, safety. So yeah, I am currently at the part where, no spoilers, where Richard is staying at this student that used to go to Hamden College named Leo, and he's staying at his warehouse with the exposed ceiling, and he's just freezing to death. He's staying in Vermont, and that's like one of the most memorable scenes from this book. So yeah, I'm really enjoying myself, and it's getting really cold outside where I live, so yeah. Anyway, I am also currently reading Out by Natsu Kirino. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's I'm pretty sure it was a Japanese writer, I want to say. This book was recommended to me by one of my favorite booktubers for books to read during the colder months. So this book follows a couple of workers that work in a lunchbox factory, and one of them ends up murdering her husband, and her coworkers are pretty much helping her cover up this situation that they have found themselves in. And I'm really enjoying myself. This book feels like a film. It moves really, really fast. Once you pick it up, you don't want to put it down. I am 70 pages in, and I'm really enjoying myself. But yeah. And then the next book that I really want to tackle is the Poppy War trilogy. I want to get into that series. As soon as I am done with Out, I'm gonna jump into the Poppy War trilogy. Like, there's no way around it, because I have been trying to read the series for a while. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Definitely try to read Intermezzo and see what you think. I just wasn't really that impressed, but that could have been my fault, and my taste for Sally Rooney has just outgrown me. And yeah, anyway, bye. I hope you have a good day.